Today's Extra.
Let's keep things rolling here on the Anglers Extra pregame show. Today, Chatham hosts YD in Marty Lees' first home game as Chatham's acting manager. So before that, let's talk to the man himself. Joe Puccio here with Marty Lees. Now, Marty, how'd you think your first game went yesterday?
Well, we didn't end up with what we wanted, but saw a lot of really good things. We played half a game of really good baseball that we're trying to feed on for today, and talked about it as a team, and feel like Ben Peterson, as our starting pitcher today, will lead us off in a good direction.
So break down those two halves of the game yesterday for us.
Well, we started out, we had too many walks and hit by pitches for the first 3-4 innings. I think we're in the 8 to 9 range. Obviously, you can't do that too often and not pay for it in baseball. I think when I looked at it, 6 of their 7 runs were all hit by pitch, walk, or led to an error. So we got to clean that up. Went through, and by the time we got to the 6th inning, we started put some good wood on the ball. The first half, I didn't feel like our approach was in sync. Kind of empty swings, non-aggressive. Now they got to it, but we need to start that a little bit earlier to give ourselves a little bit better chance.
How would you describe the energy levels in the dugout throughout the game?
It got better when we started getting outs and scoring runs. But again, it'd be nice to start that in inning 1. We need to get the energy going with how we start on the mound, how we play defense, and how we put the ball in play.
So today you have 2 new anglers making their debut. Let's start with Bryce Martin-Grudgelonic from USC, a guy that you brought in. What have you seen from him?
Well, I just had him a couple days, but I've known Bryce for quite a while. Just watched him in high school. He plays for Andy Stankiewicz, Andy Jenkins down at USC. He's a very good athlete. He can play all over the infield. Today we're going to start him at second. I know he's excited. Kind of started out the summer with a kind of a bad ankle, but he's ready to go now. We're going to give him a shot and see what happens.
Do you like getting players from the West Coast?
I like getting players from anywhere. I think that when you have relationships of people that you trust and what their expectations of you as a coach, by the time they get back from the summer, that's exciting. And when you have those relationships, it kind of brings on other players that they want to come later.
Jaden Melendez starting behind the plate for you today. What does he bring to the table?
He's a really good receiver and thrower. He can block, receive, throw, do those things. He's very adequate with the bat. He stays on the ball. And his energy is outstanding. He's been catching some bullpens, and we haven't, there's a couple times last week we tried to get him in as a start, but with the fog outs and things like that, it just didn't happen. So I'm anxious to get a very good look at him as he gets almost his debut, but not really.
Marty Lees here on the Manager Show. Marty, how do you see the roster unfolding over the next couple of weeks?
Well, we've got a couple kids that are going to be leaving as of tomorrow. Need to get back to school, kind of finished with as many innings as a coach needs and things like that. And we've got some kids that are on their way. You'll get to notice them in a couple days, but J.J. Weatherholt's going to be back. Expect him to be back tonight, but be able to play tomorrow. So that's exciting for our team. He was when he was here, and he could do things on the field that just a few baseball players can. So it'll be great to be able to have him back here for our team and for me to be around.
Marty, you've been a coach in college baseball for most of your career, especially at the D1 level. What makes a good college baseball team?
Well, you got to have, it starts on the mound. I mean, you've got to have skilled players. But I can look back some of the teams that I've had the privilege to coach, and they may not always been like the most talented, but their desire to compete on an everyday basis and desire to be in the big moments, they're second to none. I can look back at the 2005, 6, and 7 teams when I was at Oregon State, and you evaluate it later, and you realize there's a lot of big leaguers on that team, and you didn't realize it at the moment, but if you're going to make it to Omaha, you got to have big leaguers. You just don't know it until later. And we had a group of kids like that, and obviously at Oklahoma State and Washington State had tremendous times in both places. But a true staff gets along, has a clear idea of what they're trying to do with the team, and then you got to bring the team together. Every year in college, in summer, you're bringing different personalities, different skill sets, so you might have to do something a little bit different in the way you approach your offense or defense, and And so those are the fun things when you can kind of work with kids. And I get messages from coaches every day of, hey, can you work so-and-so at second a little bit more? As I look at my lineup, I might need adjustment. And so we're able to do those things and teach us those skill sets. And we want these kids to leave here with things that they can present to their team so they can get in a lineup on a daily basis.
What's the best part about coaching in Cape Cod?
How much time do we have? Well, the town is great. The people that come out to watch our games and all the other games, it's very important to them. The kids here, they know the level of baseball. It can be very humbling at times. You come out and you face everybody's best stuff every night, and I think that's where you grow as a baseball player in here, because it's similar to like a minor league schedule where, and if you had a bad day, that in 24 hours you can turn it around. And so managing those ups and downs and that kids are going through is I like to accept that challenge. I like to give them energy, be there for them, coach them up as much as we can, and I love to see what I call aha moments. I look at Derek Fabian yesterday and the work that he's put in, since he got here, and when you see those times and you can see the smile on the kid's face, and when he makes that play that you worked on before the game, or takes that swing that he's been working on in the cage, those are the most exciting moments for me.
Marty, thanks for the time.
All right, thank you.
That's Marty Lees on the Manager Show. A's and Red Sox square off at Veterans Field. Let's send things up to Andrew Selliver as we continue on the Anglers Extra pregame show.